can be taken, but not given. It is the process of taking which is empowerment in itself. This is Matt Pearce. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half. And now, Andrew, we just, Simon and I think we want to press you a bit more and ask you a bit more about, the style of gathering on and protesting on the streets. I mean, because obviously there's a difference between the demonstrations that are usually done in Hong Kong. In some ways, the government and the police, they want those kind of demonstrations to continue. They're not really a sort of, they are. They make the government, conscious of that there are a gather of people who want democracy. But in some ways, it's not a big problem for them. They have enough police, and it's all quite orderly and
peacefully.
And it's conducted. And at the end of the day, everyone goes home and stuff. But looking at how other democratic movements in the world have done it. You can find ways of putting the government under a bit more pressure in a very peaceful way, in a very controlled way, but just putting on a bit more pressure. I mean, if Hong slightly changed the style of demonstrations, just sitting, for example, just sitting in the middle of a street, totally peacefully and refusing to move, that's not a crime, is it?
Obstructing the public place.
Well,
I was charged by that, so I'm very familiar with this.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
in an orderly and peaceful manner.
And the media, both locally and internationally, if they
draw the attention.
Let's face it, the great thing about Hong Kong is that you've got a lot of media, and they'll watch any small gathering, and if they see a police force being violently taking totally peaceful people away who are just sitting there in the street, who's going to look bad? And it's going to be the government who are going to look bad. If there's enough people doing that, do you think in some ways it would put a bit
I can't agree
pressure?
No more about your idea because we have to make the government embarrassed before the whole world. And that's the very important point, because we have repeat ourselves all the time during our demonstrations. Okay, just like a show. 4 to 5 people, like long hair, April 5th action group, 4 to 5 people, and then we go there, 15 minutes later we go back home. We go to the bar. This is no use, right? Yeah. And we have to, that's why I said before, we have to organize and mobilize more people. If you give me a choice, I only need 1 demonstration, not 10 demonstrations.
I mean, one effective
to exert pressure on the government.
I mean, 1 effective demonstration is better than 10. It's better than 10 ineffective, actually. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree no more about this.
I mean, do you think in some ways, the activists in Hong Kong, they need more training beforehand, so that, before a demonstration, and so that everyone's clear exactly they know what they're doing?
I agree.
In the same way that perhaps South Koreans, when they were here during the WTO, they were obviously highly trained. Before they even came here, they actually had training days, didn't they? And they knew exactly what they were doing.
So Raymond is correct that we need a party school about civil disobedience, especially about civil disobedience, because we need more creativity in our demonstrations.
And more courage, probably.
And more courage. Because you have to pay the price for it.
You've got to pay the price.
But I have to go to jail if I just demonstrate without any price. It's no use at all, right?
And if you see Taiwan as an example, Taiwanese protesters and youngsters were very creative when it comes to political rally. But the question is, Andrew, when we talked about using civil disobedience or let's say protest or going back to the street, as you say, as a way to provoke the government or as a way to hopefully to make the government embarrassed or make them look bad. What if the government didn't treat you guys seriously and didn't react at all or not being provoked? What would you do then?
For example, the incident on July 1st. After the July 1st rally, we stayed in the government house. Okay? They have to move you. The police have to move you guys. You make the point to the world that this is the government of Hong Kong. After the handover, the government will not respect the wills and interests of the Hong Kong people. And we have to do this to make the government embarrassed. And this is the strategy that we have to think about seriously in the LSD. How could we organize more people? Not only 1,000 members, but 2,000, 3,000 before the government house to ask him, give us back our democracy. Okay?
But, I mean, how do you actually... I mean, are there enough activists...
not enough.
In Hong Kong who are willing to make the sacrifice? Because that's...
Not enough.
I mean, how...
Not enough.
I mean, but is it a matter of...
That's the reason why our democracy movement is in stagnant.
But saying that, is it a matter of there needs to be the right leaders saying... listen, and explaining to people why exactly the strategy has to slightly change.
Just like Long has said, because we have a slogan. I just literally translate into English. No struggle, no change. Long has said, we have one more slogan. No sacrifices, no struggle.
You're right, absolutely.
Exactly. When you have to struggle against the government, you have to pay the price for this. You have to do community service order. Very simple. You have to pay the fines. It's easy. But when you have to go to jail, how do you face your relatives?
Yeah.
How do I face my wife?
Yeah.
Your husband has been in jail for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How could she explain to her relatives about that? This is Hong Kong. This is not Taiwan. This is not South Korea.
Or simply say, I'm a political prisoner. Or something like that.
I don't mind about this. Just like you, Matt. You have been fighting for the cause. Going to the jail. I don't mind about this because we have to pay the price for democracy. Everything is like this.
Not only price though, but Andrew, as you know, being handcuffed or it will certainly enhance your political CV. See, a lot of the Taiwanese leaders today, I mean, lots of them went to prison before, like Annette Lu or Chen Shui-bian. So you can see that perhaps you will be the next chief executive.
The third party will say like this, just like my friend, this Choi Ji-kyung. You know him, Ivan Choi.
From the
said,
CU,
Hey, I saw your picture in a newspaper. Handcuffed and smoking. And this is a good picture for your next poster in the next election. I said you say so easy about this. You're not the one.
Well, sometimes we call that image politics. A picture speaks 1,000 words. So,
yes.
Or maybe not only.
And he said you need another picture. Your wife was how should he say? How did he say? Your wife was
hitting the
police car.
Yeah,
that's another good picture, he said.
Yeah, and his wife was in tears. But people were wondering, your wife was in tears and you're enjoying a smoke in the car.
It is a separate incident.
But you know, I think a good way to put it, you don't have to use that in the electoral election because it will 3 years from now, but maybe in January when there's a leadership bid, you can certainly, if you have a serious contender, you can certainly use that in your promotional literature, in your leaflets.
Just asking you about that particular incident, Andrew.
About handcuffed.
Do you think that you were unlawfully, you might have been unlawfully arrested actually? And taken away? Because, I mean, did you actually, did the police have the right to take you away, actually?
He said I was assaulting a police officer.
Right.
Because I was moving the coffin.
Yeah.
And he said I hit him. I hit that police officer. But I didn't realize about this. And he asked me to go to the police car and handcuff me. I said, okay, I go with you. You don't have to handcuff me, but they didn't agree. And then I followed them.
Were you surprised when they put you in handcuffs and took you?
Yeah, I'm surprised because this is my first time and I hope to be the last time.
Were you surprised when they handcuffed you, Matt?
Yeah, I've been handcuffed before, and
is it a good experience?
Well, I kind of expected it at the protest. When I was on the Timar Bridge one, they did handcuff me actually, because they that was just the way I could tell they wanted to do it in a very sort of formal way, because the media kind of they wanted to make sure it was done a bit like that actually. And that was just the kind of way they did it a bit then. And then, another time I was taken to the police station, and they actually handcuffed me to take me to my house, actually, because they wanted just to search where I was living, actually. And I remember walking down the street with the police and with my handcuffs behind my back, and people started looking, thinking, "Look, what has he done?" And they're looking at you like a criminal, you see.
But the people will say this foreigner may be drunk in language.
Yeah.
Or it would be more funny if you were in your Spider-Man costume and you were handcuffed.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the Spider-Man was handcuffed.
Yes, that's right. That's the Hong Kong way.
So, I mean, talking about that incident, do you think it will go to court? Because
I think definitely
it will. Yeah, because it's going to get political then, isn't it?
I cannot escape this.
I mean, it's going to.
This is the second time I was charged